Hello everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to Top 5 Wednesday. If you're new to Top 5 Wednesday, I will go ahead and leave the Goodreads group down below in the description box for topics and ways to get involved with that. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's topic, which is our ideal mashups. Now, this is when the book is billed as a mashup of this and that, such as, this book is perfect for fans of George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones and J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. Sidebar, those are actually a couple of my bookish pet peeves, is when people say this is perfect for fans of Game of Thrones or Harry Potter, because it's just so overused now that it doesn't really mean anything if the publisher tells you that on the blurb. But whatever, I digress. Let's go ahead and get into the books, shall we? And I am going to insert whenever I can specific instances of such mashups. Most of these I have either read already or am planning to read sometime soon in the future, just so you get an idea of what it is specifically that I like to read. So, the first type of mashup that I enjoy is historical fiction with space. And for that, I have Arabella of Mars by David D. Levine. This takes place on Mars in an alternate 19th century where space travel has already begun and a space colony exists on Mars. And it is the story of a young lady coming of age in an alternate Victorian world where she gets to live on Mars. Sounds pretty awesome to me. Okay, next up is fairy tales that are retold, mixed up with something else, or otherwise remixed. And for the examples of this, I have Kissing the Witch by Emma Donoghue, which is a queer feminist retelling of Grimm's fairy tales. The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter, which again is a classic fairy tale retelling from the mid-20th century. And The Merry Spinster by Mallory Ortberg, which is a retelling of various fairy tales by the co-creator and writer of The Toast. Okay, the next type of book crossover that I really enjoy is anything plus punk, such as silk punk, cyberpunk, steampunk, anything like that. The next book that is a punk-esque crossover that I would like to read is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. This is part of a massive, over 500 pages per volume, massive silk punk fantasy trilogy known as the Dandelion Dynasty. I haven't read this yet. I got it for $4 several jobs ago, and I am very excited to learn more about this. But yeah, this is the best example of silk punk that I have on my shelves right now. And finally, my favorite type of mashup is any type of mythological sea creature. So that could be mermaids, sirens, selkies, sea witches, any type of sea creature that's like retold or mashed up with something else. The one of those that I am most excited to read next is The Seal Woman's Gift by Sally Magnuson. I've heard this talked about a lot over on Jen Campbell's channel, as well as Simon at Savage Reads has mentioned it a lot. It is a Selkie Icelandic retelling of that myth/legend, and yeah, I don't really need to say anything more about it to know that I want to read it. So that is going to be it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. Go ahead and comment down below if you have any thoughts about your own favorite mashups when it comes. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!